We'll move from education to health. The federal government is reassuring Nigerians of quality healthcare delivery system and state-of-the-art infrastructural facilities in federal government-owned health institutions across the country. Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Tunji Alausa, gave the assurance while handing over an oxygen power plant to the Federal Medical Center, Idiaba, Abeokuta State.
Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, who expressed the commitment of the federal government to provision and expansion of healthcare infrastructure, notes that the oxygen plant will go a long way in assisting FMC Abeokuta to meet the oxygen needs of Nigerians using the facility. Represented by the Director of Hospital Services, Federal Ministry of Health, Dr. Jimoh Salaudeen, the minister assured of more healthcare facilities across the country.
You will realize that no minister mentioned something as regards to the issue of cancer. About 6 zones in the country are going to benefit from equipment that will be helping in managing cancer. So as regards to all this initiative, expect more.
Financier of the project, Global Fund Initiative, represented by Mark Eddington, commended FMC Abeokuta, Ogun State and Nigeria for the sustained effort towards the establishment of a sturdy healthcare infrastructure to serve Nigerians.
The last 10 years in particular, we have seen some really good results. We've seen people on antiretroviral therapy living with HIV go from about 15% to over 80%. We've seen TB active case finding go from probably one of the lowest in the world. But overall, we've seen receptivity. But the most important thing for the Global Fund is we're seeing results.
Global Fund came along and they've supported us. They provided lots of cylinders of oxygen for us, but they've now made it more sustainable by ensuring that we now have oxygen plants, and not only having plants, the oxygen is piped to the patient's bedside.
Mobility mortality associated with lack of oxygen will be greatly reduced. So we are very grateful to the federal government, Global Fund and the state governor.
Installation of the oxygen power plant was conceived in 2020 in response to the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic and now being implemented as a proactive measure to prevent the emergence of similar pandemics in the country.